what I wanted to talk about is, what Watch Dogs Legion can do and how Watch Dogs Legion will be the best and the biggest game in the series up to this point. So let's talk about that. Watch Dogs Legion, guys, I think that there was definitely a reason that Ubisoft decided to go in the direction of calling this game right off the bat Watch Dogs Legion over that of Watch Dogs 3. Even though it's a continuation off of Watch Dogs 2, I think that Legion was this idea that, not that they're doing a soft reboot, but they want this to stand alone in a way. Even though it's a continuation off of the first two games, I think that they want this game to kind of stand alone. They want this to be their flagship, title in this franchise. They want this to be the biggest game that they've ever done. And I think that what we've seen so far from gameplay, as well as from of course, the reveal trailers, everything we've seen so far tells me that this will absolutely be the biggest in the series. Is it going to be the best is another question, but I think that it's definitely going to be the biggest. This is the most ambitious project when we talk about from the Watch Dogs universe as a whole. And there's been a lot of speculation as well as concern that Watch Dogs Legion is the biggest that they've ever, made in this franchise. However, since you're able to recruit so many people into the Resistance, there's not going to be really any one given character that you can connect to in the campaign. And so, honestly, guys, I can totally see that argument, but at the same time, I think that this is a very unique title, to say the least. This seems to be very unique, at least in my personal opinion. I love the concept of, sure, we're not going to be able to connect with any one character, but it's not so much about any one character. It's about the totality of the Resistance. DedSec, it is about this movement, this resistance, and kind of tackling every mission that is needed here in order to obtain victory. And I think that is a really cool concept, in my opinion. It's a different direction, sure, but I think that this is one that could definitely pay off. It feels very much so, guys, that this is a title that has a ton of opportunity to really put this franchise in the forefront and be the biggest as well as the best in the franchise moving forward. So I believe, guys, from the campaign side of things, I definitely think that it's going to be the biggest in the franchise. From a multiplayer perspective, even though we don't know a lot yet about the multiplayer, I think that if they elaborate on what, they offered us in Watch Dogs 2, they could certainly be on the right track. I think having those PvP elements is going to be very important. Having co-op is important as well. Even PvE will be, something that I'm sure a lot of us are going to want as well. But all in all, having a full package in Watch Dogs Legion is going to be a really important thing moving into this title for this franchise. I think that when we look at Watch Dogs, and up to this point, I mean, when we look on Twitch, the amount of people streaming Watch Dogs 2, the amount of people watching it, the same thing with the first one, it's not that many. I think that there needs to be a lot of other ways that we can connect with this game outside of just the campaign. Sure, co-op, after you're done playing the story, having ways you can play with your friends, like in a co-op format, whether that's co-op missions or going up against, enemies in a PvE format, or having multiplayer aspects where you're going up against other individuals out there. And I think there's a ton of different ways that they could do that, and having a number of different modes out there. And so that, of course, guys, is another way that I think that Watch Dogs Legion, it's going to be really important that they hook you not just from the campaign perspective, not just from the co-op perspective, not just from the multiplayer, having the totality of it being something that you don't go to another game after you beat the campaign. You go back to the game and you play the co-op, you play the multiplayer, and you stay a part of this franchise for a long period of time. I felt it really important that I greenlit the Resistance, this show, on Twitch, and also, of course, that goes up on YouTube later. I thought that it was really important to do this because I think that we as a community need to be talking about Watch Dogs, not just, playing the game on Twitch and seeing some of the numbers. I know that there's a really passionate fan base here within this game and this franchise as a whole. So I thought it was really important moving into Watch Dogs Legion to greenlight a show that is all about Watch Dogs and about the future, about the past, the present, where we stand at this point. I'm very excited for the future of Watch Dogs Legion, guys, in the future of this franchise, what this game could do leading us into the next generation of Watch Dogs games, which we'll get to here later. But I definitely want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about this? Will Watch Dogs Legion be the biggest title in the Watch Dogs franchise? Is this going to be enough changes, enough additions that are going to keep us hooked for a long period of time after launch? Let me know what you guys think in the live chat or in the comment section down below.